Welcome back. Paperball. We're gonna get flipped a little bit today. Huh. I feel like getting a good, consistent flipping technique is gonna be tough here. That first flip was really good. Ooh, overflipped. Doesn't seem too bad, because we could just stay in a consistent spot. I think it should be pretty okay. It gets thinner though is the hard part. What kinds of cycles do you have to make here for... Oh, that's me. For platinum, jeez. Okay, that was not very emphatic. Yeah. I guess I'm starting towards the inside a bit too much is what's happening there. If you can, and these have grids on them, so if you just manage to figure out where to stay on that grid, you're pretty okay. Even then, it still feels fairly precise, but I just try to line myself up on the correct square each time. That last one is so mean. That is gratuitous. Which I guess is the whole idea behind this set of levels. Ooh. Gold. I just want to see what the absolute hardest stuff this game has to offer is. If there's actually a set of bonus levels after this. This is very physicsy. I like that. Oh, controller, don't do this to me. Alright, so let's get a good look at what we're doing here. So we basically just want to get to the outside. I really appreciate, by the way, that the level still moves when you're looking at the stage this way. Oh, it moves one way and then the other. That's interesting. That's all very interesting movement there. But the thing is, how do you get to... Okay, so you have to go outside and back inside, and then back out again. So I want to get down here, for instance. Aha!
Ready?
So I'll drop down here. Ah.
Ready? Go! Ready?
I think I get the idea though. I'll take some practice. Like a lot of these last few levels actually, as long as you can get the idea of it. Oh!
Ready? Go!
It's not too bad, but then it's, you gotta be careful of it spinning too quickly, that part, it looks like. Because it is inclined, looks like to spin at this particular moment, coincidentally.
Ready? Go!
I can do it again if I can do it once. That was actually my fault this time. I wanted to start to look at the map and I just hit the reset button. No big deal though. That didn't feel too painful to do the first time. Well, it'd be nice to get fewer deaths, but whatever. I don't need to see. Vision is overrated. Doesn't really need to worry too much about that there. the goal. I feel like if I could just optimize that movement a little bit, I could actually get platinum here. But I'll take it. Hailstorm was not too bad.
You cleared all my stages.
It looked imposing.
Success.
Half an hour for 10 levels. It's beautiful.
Thanks for playing.
15. I want to, guys, but that's sadistic. Wow. Wow. I'm inclined to give these a few shots.
Ready? Go.
Because I think most of these you could get used to and then do at least somewhat consistently.
Ball out.
But I'm really not sure.
Go.
You want something like that, I imagine.
Go.
If you can do that,
Ready?
if you can consistently do that, that skips 2 levels for you at least, and that's actually really generous, you know what I think about it. The fact that you can... Oops. That works too. I actually just skipped 2 levels out of these 10. That's a whole 5th of the...
Ready? Go.
of everything that you can skip there.
Ready?
You should take a closer look at the mini map for that, just to not fly over like that. That was surprisingly good timing on my end.
Ready?
Almost.
Go.
I mean, if anything, it was too good of a timing.
Ready?
It's kind of fun getting caught in a circle like that, but you can do this consistently, especially if you can get the higher goal, which I don't think is much harder than getting the lower one, honestly.
Ready? Go.
Then
Ready?
that's
Go.
2 levels you can skip already. Not that I think I can really realistically do this with
Ready?
fewer than 15
Go.
fallouts. I want to have at least some hint of what it would be like trying to train for that.
Ready? Go.
Man, how did I manage to do that so well the first couple times? Ow.
Ready?
And it's really just
Go.
timing. And it's really, really tricky timing.
Ready?
There's no good way to be able to see all the things you need to see, I don't think, to be able to time it. I don't know if trying to look at the timer up top would be sufficient
Go.
to try to time it either. And you get silly stuff like that where you actually jump over. This is a good introduction to the sorts of stuff you have to do though in this set of levels, I think. See, they're actually held back a bit, which was not wise.
Ready? Go.
But it felt a little bit necessary after some of the things that happened.
Ready?
Well, that's the way to get
Go.
platinum. Shoot yourself into the goal there. Because otherwise, sometimes... Okay, that was real interesting.
Ready? Go.
Sometimes, though, I just fall forwards if I try to go full speed forwards. Huh.
Go.
That was an interesting little balance. Like, that's one of the things where I want to see a replay. Here's the thing, though, you can't just keep retrying the arcade mode very conveniently, because one of the side effects of having such a long cutscene after you give up is you can't just easily keep restarting the first level
Ready? Go.
to get by with no deaths on the first level. Oh man, I do it too well sometimes. Which is almost kind of mean. I'm curious if that was deliberate. Like I said, this game gives you a challenge if you want one.
Ready, go!
Gives you a serious challenge. I just wish I could do this kind of consistently so that I could start thinking about whether... How many times can I do that? I start thinking about whether it's feasible to
Ready,
look at other levels. I have not the best success rate right now, it's like 1 in 5. Ah.
Fallout. Ready, go!
So this would probably just take a lot of practice, which I is kind of the idea of a game like this, I suppose. Do that too. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go over that way, so I just let go a little bit.
Ready,
But it would be a very, very helpful thing if I could manage to get the top ring instead of the lower one. So that actually, I think you can kind of figure out a failsafe for this. You try to go for the top ring, and if you realize that you got onto the platform too late, you can pull back a little bit and go for the bottom one instead. So I'm going for the top one right now. Realize I can't get it. Oh. In fact, you can almost get the top ring that way too. And once I realize I can't get it, I just pull back and I
ready,
go for the bottom one instead. It'd be nice to put at least a little bit of time into trying to figure out how to play this game seriously. Not that I haven't played this game seriously, having tried to get as many platinums as I did and whatnot, I guess, but still. Even more than I have so far.
ready, go!
There I was kind of trying to go for going over. Maybe that was probably my issue. Maybe I should have this whole time be doing something more like that. That seems a lot more consistent. It just seems hard to get gold that way, or gold, get the yellow ring that way.
Ready, go!
And my success rate has gone up a decent bit, I think. It's just I tend not to get the gold. I keep saying that, the yellow ring. I have multiple gold things in my mind at the same time, I guess. If you manage to go... Whoa! If you manage to go over the platform instead of dropping under like I do nowadays, it's really easy to go up top. The question then though is whether I can realistically do any of the other levels without dying a bunch, and I don't think that's really the case. Let's not even skip those two there. I'd have to do slackline, which I don't think is too big of a deal. That sound you probably just heard was my controller hitting the microphone. Oops. The button's not what I expect them to be here. What is? I need to maintain control of the camera as well. That's what's happening here. It's the trick, I think, of switching to the keyboard for this that really makes it doable. I have no idea what a platinum run of this would look like, though. I'm still rushing, though, is part of the problem here. And that bump in the middle is mean, too, but it's actually not as bad as it looks, I don't think. Man, since... if you are using the keyboard, you can move perfectly straight if need be. And I'm tapping as loud as I can each time I move. Start moving for a second, you stop moving. And playing this game for survival is very different to playing it for good times and whatnot, definitely. A little bit fast there. stuff slowed down entirely. There you go. See, that's not so bad because you have a big, long, straight stretch for it. And you can move the camera however you need to. You can stop and slow down and all that. The hard part is the curves. Again, I haven't seen anybody else play this game or anything like that, so I don't know how hard different things are really considered by the general player base or anything like that, but sounds like this level is actually considered one of the harder ones by a decent margin. And if you're going for a good time, I don't doubt it. I would not want to try to get a platinum on this, actually. But if you give me 2 minutes to do it, it's no problem. It just takes some focus.
Ready?
Anyways, I'll cut things here. The question is what there is left to do. I would kind of like to try to get those bonus stages. Like, the hardest stages in the whole game. I feel like I would like to see all the bonus stages, but I don't think I can really hold myself to doing that, especially if it means like playing through 50 stages. That I don't want to do. On the other hand, stuff like this, where it's just 10 stages, can I master these 10 stages? Maybe. I suspect that I probably won't in reality regardless, but I might practice them a little bit more. And I'll probably commit to ending this Let's Play after these couple next episodes, but regardless, I'll see what I can do within that. And then maybe go for a couple more platinums or something like that too, if I can. And if not, play around in Blitz mode or something. Bye everyone.